Okay, so tell me a little bit about Brian Coleman and Heart to Help.
Wow. Brian Coleman. I am the founder of A Heart2Help. A Heart2Help was actually created in 2022. Actually, the idea was on Christmas Day. Quick background, I work in healthcare. I've worked in healthcare for about 33 years as a surgical tech. So I've always pretty much been in a space of being a part of a team, helping people, being able to be empathetic, share compassion, and things like that. And so on Christmas Day, or I guess about a week before Christmas, was just looking for volunteer opportunities because I just felt super blessed in my life. Didn't really need anything, didn't really want anything. And I kind of felt like that after COVID, everyone sort of went back into their own little bubble. And so for me, I was just in a space where I really wanted to help. And so was looking for opportunities, but because of my schedule, wasn't able to really find anything, which was it's good in a way because that means that there were a lot of people out volunteering and helping. And so on Christmas Day, nothing fell through, and was just sort of sad, and was just thinking as I was going to my brother-in-law's house, driving through the neighborhood, and saw homes of people I didn't know who were in the house, and just thought like maybe there's an elderly couple that's in there that is alone, don't have any family around, and just wish that they could have a home cooked meal. Or maybe there's a family in my neighborhood that didn't know about the toy drive, so now their kids don't have toys for Christmas. And it just kept going on and on. And then I just thought, well, what if there was a way to connect people? If there was some sort of app or something that a person could post a need, people see it, and there was no doubt that if people knew like what the need was, who had the need, where it was, that they would definitely step in and help. And then that's pretty much where Heart to Help started.
That's amazing. So, how many years have you been doing this? And tell me about maybe some examples of how you've made an impact in your company.
It just pretty much launched a few days ago. It's in the both stores, the Apple and the Google store. We did a soft launch and was able to gain 5,000 downloads, and ways that we were able to help. There was a gentleman in Pakistan actually that had reached out, and it was before the app had launched, and he was just really, really in need of an electric wheelchair. And so he started sending me messages, and I told him that the app was just getting going. He could post it on there, but wasn't really sure what type of response that he would receive. And he was telling me he had been a quadriplegic for 35 years. He had just recently got married a couple years ago. And I guess in his culture, his wife wasn't able to push him around. So he always had to have a male push him around. So he felt like he never really had complete privacy with his wife. He sort of felt less than, and he just wanted some independence. And I could tell through his messages that there was just this desperation for a wheelchair. And he had went back to school. He got his master's degree. He was a tutor. He was all of these things, but still couldn't afford to get this chair. And we were able to get the chair for him. It was delivered. He sent us a beautiful message just saying how his life was changed by getting his wheelchair, and that he has freedom, and that he feels better in his soul. And to me, that's truly what A Heart to Help is about.
Okay. So, what kind of partnerships have you developed in order to make some of these people's dreams come true? I'm sure it takes a village to be able to do that.
It definitely takes a village. Right now, it's pretty much bootstrapped, self-funded, and so getting that wheelchair was something that basically came out of my pocket. But I just felt that he truly, truly was a sincere person that truly, truly needed it, and so that was pretty much like the first time to show that like, wow, this really works. We're starting to partner with a few different organizations. One being called Olive Crest. They are sort of the bridge between families that are going through hard times, and instead of putting them in the system, the children, they actually have different families that are sort of like that in between. And so this organization needs things because there could be families that all of a sudden have two teenagers. And so they will post on our site that they may need a bike, they may need clothes, they may need shoes. And so that'll actually will be a resource for them. And then there's another organization called Food on Foot that we're getting ready to partner with as well. And it's the same thing. We want to pretty much align ourselves with all of the nonprofits because we feel like that they're doing amazing things. And so our goal is for them to be able to post, for their population, but then also they have needs. So if it's a homeless shelter or a food bank, they would be able to post on A Heart to Help, basically saying that, hey, we need water donations, we need canned goods, and things like that. So that will be that sort of resource for them as well.
Okay. So, from your perspective, though, because you're partnering with nonprofits, would it make sense to also partner like with a for-profit organizations who, let's say, like grocery stores that at the end of the day dispense of food that's still very good, but they can't put it back on the shelves, or places that have clothing and or other consumer goods that they typically may give to, let's say, a Walmart, not a Walmart, but like a Winners or some of those secondary retail places, and instead they could give it to Heart to Help.
Exactly, and that's what we're truly hoping for. Just because right now it's pretty much myself, and really trying to get it going hasn't really been a challenge, in the sense of, like, I know that the opportunities are there. I just think that it's more of just getting the word spread, and as many people that are out there spreading the message of A Heart to Help and what we're trying to do will allow us to be able to get in contact with a lot of those organizations and nonprofits, because at the end of the day we just want to help, and we believe that we believe in our mission, and as far as people helping people, and we realize that once these organizations realize that what we're trying to do, I do believe that they will partner more with us with that.
So, how long have you actually had started this initiative? I know the app just launched, but you've been doing this for some time. You've been thinking about it. Is this your 100% focus, or what else are you doing?
It's been about a year total from when I started really working on it, which was basically last June, and so till June now. So it's been a full year from the app development into actually getting the app launched. Actually, I still work two full-time jobs, and just to keep it going, step by step, in a sense. And but yeah, I still work, and but it is my primary focus, in a sense of it's what I want to do. Like, working in healthcare has definitely been a passion. Like, it is amazing to be a part of someone's care. It's very, very humbling. But also, what I've realized with A Heart to Help is that this is truly my purpose. And I feel it. I think about it every day. I live it. I breathe it. I love talking about it. And I love to see just the smiles of when people light up when they hear about it.
That's quite a journey for you. That's quite. So, have you been influenced by anybody in your journey to actually get to where you are today?
I would say my mother, for sure. I've been blessed. I've had, a support system around me, but there's one situation that sort of stood out to me, and that's when my mother and father got divorced when I was fairly young. So my mom was a single parent. My father's always been in the picture. He's my best friend, love him. And but I just remember we were living in the suburbs, and my mom was doing the best that she could. And as kids, we just really didn't have a care in the world. We didn't think about leaving doors open. We didn't think about the AC being on all day or leaving TVs on. And I remember this particular day, I was probably closer to 10 years old, 10 or 11. And I was downstairs watching TV, and all of a sudden I heard something. And so we turned the TV down, and me and my sister just sort of crawled upstairs to kind of see, because we can tell it was coming from upstairs. And we snuck upstairs, and as soon as I looked, I just remember seeing my mother on the bed with a bunch of bills around her, and she was just bawling, crying, and it was a moment that was so eye-opening that it probably changed the course of my life, because for me that was the ultimate show of kindness and grace. Yes, that's my mother, and her, I guess people could say her job is to provide, but that was truly, being kind and doing as much as you can without knowing that you're not going to get anything in return, in a sense. And that moment probably changed my life up until now.
I find that because I'm a child of immigrants as well, and you don't realize the sacrifice that your parents make to put food on the table. And half the time, I think that the moment that you saw your mom break down was probably a moment that she would love to hide, because they parents, I think, in general, don't want to show um, that they're not strong, that they got it. Like, they want to show you a different face, and maybe that vulnerability helped, you know, change you and
Right.
push you in a different direction.
Definitely, because in that moment, in looking back on it now, because she didn't even know that I saw her in that moment until I was an adult when I finally shared that I saw her in that moment. Um, but at the time, I felt like looking back on it now that, she probably could have used some help. And, for me, I've been in that situation of despair where you don't know where to go, who to turn to and what to do. And so hopefully with the Heart to Help, it's going to be more than just sort of that in-person help. And my goal is to change what the word help means, because I feel like that there's such a stigma attached to the word help that the minute someone says that they need help, it's, well, how did you get in this situation? They look down at that person instead of just lifting them up and saying, well, what can I do to help you? And so for me, I want people to understand that we can all use a helping hand. And so it could be mentoring, tutoring, career advice, a listening ear. It can really make that difference where, someone reaches out. And actually, I had a gentleman that reached out, and this was way before the app launched. And he was in Pennsylvania, and he had got kicked out of a shelter. And so he was telling me the story, and he was leaving me like these long messages. So I responded, left me a long message again. And so I just finally gave him my number. It was just like, just call me. And so he talked and talked, and all he really needed was a listening ear. That was it. He just wanted to vent. And I'm in California, he's in Pennsylvania. And, I told him, I said, here's my number. You can call me anytime if you ever need to talk or whatever. And so to me, that's what it's truly about, is that we're just, meeting people where they are and just really trying to help, because we can all be in that position. You know?
So, how big is your community? And second to that, like, where do you see your organization going in, let's say, 5 years?
Yeah, basically it's still small because it launched. We probably right now have like 35 to 40 posts in there, people that are offering services and help and donations, and then also people that are requesting some sort of assistance. In 5 years, I truly feel like that A Heart to Help will be known as the platform for help and bringing people together, and then also just a platform of spreading kindness to each other. The one thing that I feel like the world really lacks is kindness, empathy, and compassion. And hopefully, we can, on our app, there's no judgment. We want people to feel comfortable being able to come and ask for assistance, because, again, you just never know when you're going to be on the other side of that. So.
Well, I wish you luck, and I'd love to be able to keep in touch with you to see how things are going. And I'm happy to actually write about you. So keep going.
Oh, yes, I get messages from people all around the world that just are thankful for what we're really, really trying to do. And, they basically tell me day in and day out that this is what the world needs, that I'm going to change the world. And it's really, truly humbling, because I'm just a regular guy in my mind. And what makes it sort of tough for me sometimes is that I get messages from people that I can't help right now. And so they may say, I need a job, I need food, I need this. I got a post from a woman who unfortunately, suffers some domestic violence, and she sent me the pictures of it. And so I see these things every day, and it weighs heavily on me, because I just want to make things better for everyone. And so when people say that one person can't make a difference, I guess in a way I can sort of understand why they would say that. But with the Heart to Help, it's not just one person; it's all of us. And if everyone can just be willing to just be kind and share, then that's what's going to make the change for sure. So, yeah.
Thank you. Tech Uncensored and Altitude Accelerator podcast does not constitute a recommendation for any organization, product, or service. It is produced and distributed by Altitude Accelerator. For more Tech Uncensored content, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts or visit us at altitudeaccelerator.ca.